One of the most powerful features of Google tools like Google Docs is the flexible sharing options. You can adjust the document sharing permissions from a variety of locations. If you're in your Google Drive list page, you can right-click on a document's name and choose Share, or you can use the Share icon at the top of your drive. You can also double-click to open any of your documents and adjust the sharing settings there as well. With the document open, you can hover over the blue Share button in the top right to see the current permissions. Notice that my blue button currently has a lock icon on it, and when I hover over it, I see that this document is set private only to me right now. When I click on the blue Share button, the Sharing Settings window opens. This window is different from the previous Drive Sharing Settings window. It is designed for quick collaboration but has fewer options. To access the sharing window with more options, simply click the Advanced link in the lower corner. This window shows the document's link and who currently has access to the document. All new documents default to private, meaning no one else can see or edit your documents even if they somehow found your document's link. To change these settings, click on the word Change. There are 4 levels of visibility that you can choose from. Specific people means no one but you can access a document unless you add others in as collaborators to your document. Think of this option as private. People at Jeffco with the link means that anyone with a Jeffco Google account can view your document provided you give them the link. Jeffco Schools is similar to the previous scenario, but instead of having to be given the link by you, others in the Jeffco domain can search for your document and find it, even if you've not specifically given them the link. If you choose either of the Jeffco options, users will be required to log in with their Jeffco Google accounts prior to seeing your document. If you don't want users to have to log in, choosing anyone with a link or public is a better option. Anyone with a link allows anyone, even those without a Google account, to click on a document's link and view it. And finally, public on the web allows others to find your document in Google searches. For this example, I'll use anyone with a link because I might want parents accessing my document, and parents don't have Jeffco Google accounts. Before I click Save, I also want to double check what access level users have when they visit my document. The default is view only, which is perfect. I certainly don't want parents or students editing this item once they open it. This is the setting you want for informational items or template-like items that you want to be viewed but not altered. If this was a parent-teacher conference schedule that I did want parents to be able to type their names into once they arrived here, I would just need to change the access from Can View to Can Edit. In this case, I want students to be able to view this item only, but not make any alterations to the assignment's details, so I will leave it as Can View and choose Save. Let's say though that I want my teammates to be able to edit the document and add more items for students to complete. In the Add People box, I just need to enter the names of my teammates, or if I have set up Google Groups, I can add in the whole group as well. Notice the default access level when you are adding others this way is Can Edit, not just Can View. I can change that right now if I need to, or I can click Send and alter those permission levels at any time, or I can remove a collaborator completely by clicking the X by his or her name. Always make sure to save your changes, and when you're done, choose Done. My blue Share button no longer has a lock icon on it, and if I hover over it, I can see that it is set to anyone with a link. I don't see my individual collaborators when I'm hovering though. I must click back on the Share button to see those or make any changes. Let me go back to my Drive landing page to show you how you can also adjust sharing permissions by folder. One tip I can pass on for items that you are linking to a website is to store those in a folder that is already set as anyone with the link can view. Here's my RV Web Items folder. To view or change the current sharing permissions for this folder, I just need to right-click on the folder and choose Share. My folder is set so that anyone with the link can view it, and anything I put in this folder adopts that permission. So to avoid having to individually adjust the sharing settings for each and every document that I'm linking to my website, I simply drop or move those items into this folder and their sharing settings are changed for me. That is the nuts and bolts of how to share items and change sharing settings. Keep watching if you would like to see some classroom scenarios and how you might use different sharing settings depending on the situation. The purpose of your document will dictate your sharing settings. Let's start with a team agenda for a weekly meeting. I want the others on my team to be able to add their ideas to this agenda, so everyone on my team needs to be able to edit this document. Let me use the blue share button and change my current sharing settings to add in my teammates, and make sure to leave the default set as can edit. Once I've shared the document, my teammates will see it appear in their Google Drive incoming list, and they will get an email to their Jeffco Google accounts that I have shared the item. Now let's look at a different scenario. For this scenario, I have a handout that I want all of my students to be able to see, but not edit or make changes to my master copy. I will again use the blue share button to change the document settings since it is currently private. I do not want to have to enter each of my students' Google usernames, so I will not use the Add People box. Instead, I will use the Change link to adjust the settings. I'm going to make this item viewable anyone with a link, but I'm going to leave the access set as Can View. That way, users can find and view this item, but they will not be able to make any changes to it. Let's say I also want to add my teammate in as an editor on this document so she can add in additional questions as needed. I will start typing her name in the Add People box until I find her, and then I will add her. Now this document is view only for anyone with a link, and 2 people, my teammate and I, can edit this document. Let me choose Done. Now I will switch over to a student account and view this same document. You can see that the student is able to view the document, but the editing toolbars are not available. If I want my students to be able to fill out and submit their own copy of this item, I will simply tell them to use the File, Make a Copy feature, which will make a duplicate editable copy of this document and will place it in the student's Google Drive. And now one last scenario. Here's a document called Analyzing Poetry that I want my entire class to collaborate on at once. I want all of my students to be able to enter their observations on my one document, but I don't want to have to manually type in all of my students' Jeffco Gmail addresses to share with. I simply want this document to be editable quickly by a large group of others whom I will give the link to. So to accomplish this, I will choose the blue share button. Instead of typing in their individual email addresses, I will use the Change link next to Private and set this document to anyone with the link. For the access level at the bottom, I need to adjust the access so that those with the link can edit the document. Now, anyone I give the link to will be able to access and edit this document. I just need to link the document to my classroom website or to my Schoology course so that it's easy for my students to find it. You can find the link for the document by copying the address at the top of the page or by choosing the Share button. Sharing settings can take a little practice, so don't be discouraged if you link a document to your website and students report back to you that they get a "you don't have permission to view this item" message. That just means that you forgot to change your document from private to anyone with the link, and you can just hop right back into your Google Doc to make that quick adjustment with the blue share button. Google gives you a lot of flexibility when it comes to sharing, and these sharing settings are the same in all of the Google Docs tools. So if you're working on a spreadsheet, drawing, or Google Slides presentation, you will have those very same options for sharing. Just look for the blue share button.